Morning everybody. We are on the road today. We're going to be trying to install a sign over in Defiance, Ohio, and we're going to be taking the RK25 with us. We're going to see how this goes. I don't expect really too many issues, except this is the first time that I'll have done the installation by myself, and hopefully I don't forget anything. We're going to try something different, and normally when we dig the holes we have to take a shovel and put all the dirt back in. So I'm going to try and experiment with one hole by putting a tarp down first. Maybe everybody else has already figured this out, but I'm going to cut a hole in the tarp about 10-12 inches in diameter, and we're going to see how well that works to clean up the dirt. See if it works better and faster than when we just scoop it back with the shovel. I've arrived on our install location. You can see it's going to install right over here by the, right there by that sign, or the sewer. With where we're at is I don't think we're going to have to deal with much traffic. It's a dead-end street right now. According to our GPS location, gonna install right along the field line, right here. I'll have to do some final measurements and confirm that, but in the meantime we're gonna work on unloading. For some reason the tape measure in my truck is missing. We try to keep one in every vehicle. It's a requirement. My vehicle just has it missing. But that's okay, because the tractor has one too. So, our starting point is going to be right there. Next, we need to, this is a 6-foot wide sign with posts, and so we need to put the center of the hole 76 inches apart. 76. That's where the tractor will start digging. This is a construction install, so it does not have to be pretty, but I'm going to use this as a time to experiment and see. I've got an idea about doing faster installs that are cleaned up, like what I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to make that template right now. We're just going to cut straight across now. That. Now in the center, we're going to put a hole right in the center that's big enough for the auger to go down into the ground. So I'm going to say 12 inches or so. So we're going to go down here and cut a quarter circle like that, like that. I'll do the same thing with the other one. Tarp will no longer be useful for anything but this. So hopefully nobody will take my tarps. About 6 inches or so. There we go. Couldn't find that anybody had made these. I'm sure somebody has. We're going to center these then right at our holes. So there's one, and there's one. Well, it looks like the weeds aren't going to let us put it down. Normally, the job sites are not construction signs. That's why this is just an experiment anyway. Okay. If it was laying just down on regular grass, I think it'd be no issue. And we'll do the same thing over here. I think I may have blown the PTO fuse. I'm not sure. Looks like it burned. I hope I'm not running into that problem again that we had last year. Let's go see if we got a fuse. There's a 5, there's a 10, so we can get a couple of 5s. Let's just take the whole pack with us. Maybe it has to do with humidity. It always seems like it happens when there's lots of humidity. Okay. Let's turn it back on. Looks like we blew the new one. Yes, we did. Well, we got some troubleshooting to do. I hate doing that on the field. The problem appears to be with the with this. It's the PTO actuator. I can't remember the exact word right now. And I have another one. But we're going to try to, I don't have it with me. Hopefully we can get this one to work, but it's got a different connector, the new one does. I don't even know if that'll fix the problem for sure. It turns on an electromagnet that engages the PTO shaft. And I had some problems last year under a very humid environment, so I don't know. I'm not sure what the issue is. Last year, it also seemed to be able to fix it if I just tighten down the plastic nut. Why? I'm not sure why they use a plastic nut, other than maybe it has something to do with the electronics or that. But this goes right here, and it's on the well, if you're on the seat, it's on the left-hand side of the tractor. It's right underneath up where your big wheel is, right over here, and it is directly down below this notch. It doesn't seem to be a very common problem because I'm the only one that seems to deal with it. We're going to try to put it back on. I just took it off. Last time it still tests good when I used it last time, and I don't know. It's right down here. You can see where it goes on that shaft. This time we're going to put in a resettable fuse. I wish it would fit, but it doesn't fit with the cover on. See how it sticks out right there. Look at that. It's working again. So it seems like it has something to do with how tight that is, that plastic nut. I think it loosens up, but you can't tighten it very tight either because it just does not have being plastic, it doesn't have a strong threshold. Maybe I should try to find an aluminum nut that would fit. Let's try it again. Here's one hole, here's another hole. Now we're ready to start putting in the post and making sure that they are plumb. What I did here, and you're probably wondering what I was doing with this bucket of stone, but we used 411 limestone because it acts like concrete but can still drain easier. It will harden, but still allow the ground to shift as needed. And instead of heaving up, it can settle back down when the frost changes. This post is actually standing on its own. Nothing in there. We want it to be about 72 1/4 inches or so. Right at 72 or just a little more. So I said I like using that 411 limestone, and I do because it acts like the Quikrete, but it has it's easier to remove, and since this is a temporary construction sign, it's going to be even more important. But I use it on permanent signs too. It's real good, it's flexible, and it'll seal back up like concrete, but when it needs removed, it can be removed without the effects of the concrete can leave on the environment. We are going to measure 6 feet on the post because a construction sign can't be taller than 6 foot according to regulations. So we're going to measure this from the ground level and cut those off. What we're going to do now is we're going to put up the initial brackets over on this side and this side. Then we're going to hold the sign up at level and then mark this one at the same place. That way, if there's a slight variation, it'll still be level. We know the sign is 48 inches tall, so we're just going to go ahead and mark that. That's the base. So right here's our base. And this is why I love to use wood clamps for installing. You saw I use them also to level the post and to make them plumb. Well, they also work very well, better than screws a lot of times because they're so adjustable for holding up the sign too. I'll put it down low just until I can get my mark. Okay, now we'll go over to this side and put one up just temporarily, and that way we can see if we're level. So that may look somewhat level, but that's no guarantee. I don't have a board to go across for the whole level, so we're actually just going to use the sign and do the same thing. Now we know where to cut. I made aluminum brackets that are ready to go up. Well, we got the sign all finished. I can't take it off yet because they want to do a ribbon cutting. So we're gonna maybe put that in later if I can get it. But the sign's all done. I think it turned out really well. I think that method worked pretty good considering there was only me installing this. And I think it took about, it probably would have gone faster for two things. One, I ended up drilling, augering this hole over here a second time because the first time when I looked at it, the parallelness of one was not that great with the telephone poles. I kind of went more by the weeds in the field, and that was a mistake. So I had to move it about 8 inches one way. And that took a little bit of time, but I think we ended up taking more time by the PTO blowing its fuse. And I'm not quite sure why, but if it happens to you, it seems like if you just take it off, put it back on, tighten up the nut, the plastic nut on the end, it fixes it. And it, for some reason, I think it must be vibrating loose. I don't know why it blows it, but I think I'm going to look for an aluminum nut to see if we can get that on there. We're going to pack up. I got most of the stuff just in the bucket. You can even see the leftover 411 stone, which I'm very happy with. So you saw today how we put in signs at our printing company, and here is what we gave them. I took off the GPS location numbers, but you can see pretty close that this is pretty much how we made it using our GPS numbers. And I think the customer is going to be pretty happy with it. I'm happy with it. Probably in 6 months we'll see a factory or something here.
About a week after the installation of this sign, there was a groundbreaking for Tessenderlo Kerley, the company that is building the new facility. And this is the groundbreaking with the people all involved, the family, and I think it turned out really well. The company liked everything, and so did the city. So we appreciate working with everybody.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. And oh, by the way, forgot to mention, we have now hit over 500 subscribers, and we can only thank you guys for that.